Good morning, YouTube. This video is about my rescue dogs and my personal experience and what I've learned from having 4 rescue dogs. Fred was my first, my beloved Fred. He passed away just before Christmas, and he was a beautiful boy and we loved him to bits. But anyway, our second rescue dog is Miss Penny here. Now, she was, and like I say, this is purely based on my experience. I don't claim to be an expert, but I'm just going by what I know and what I've experienced with them. Penny was my first girl, my second girl. She came from a reasonable home, but the couple unfortunately was splitting up and she could no longer remain with them. So that was fine. Decided to take her, went round to pick her up, and the only thing I'll say there is that they literally opened the door, thrust her in my arms, closed the door, and thank you very much. There was no, here's her favourite toy, here's her favourite blanket, or anything like that. But she settled in really well. She got on really well with Fred. They really did get, Fred was a very tolerant dog, and she tended to sit on him for his warmth, and she settled in really well. She is my most demanding dog in the sense that she needs to go out more because she's older now. She needs to go out more, sometimes at night, and she gets her way. But she's a gorgeous girl and we love her to bits, and she was relatively easy. So was Fred, our first dog. He was very easy. He just seemed to settle right in with us like it was meant to be. I had no problems with him and he was fantastic. And Penny was not so easy, but no problems that we couldn't really deal with. She was pretty good. So Penny back there, we've had for getting on for probably 9 years now, 8 or 9 years. So we've had her quite a while. Our third rescue dog is Ruby here. Now she had a few more issues. Unfortunately, she came from a broken home as well. But her issues were more complex. She had been passed around at the end through various relatives of the couple that could no longer have her, and I think all this did upset her. She took a good 12 to 18 months to settle in with us. The first couple of months all she wanted to do was escape, so we had to keep a close eye on her. We didn't live on this property at the time. We lived on a smaller property and it was all fully fenced and gated, so that was fine. But when we first got her, she could literally jump over a 6-foot fence, and she did a few times. But the period of settling down was longer. It probably didn't help we're in the middle of all that, 12 to 18 months we had to move to this property. But she did take quite a long time. I think in her background, before the last couple had her, she was very, very disciplined, because she's a very polite dog. She'll wait before she jumps up, on the sofa or anything. She waits to be asked. And she's very polite. She don't push her way around. She's quite insistent on attention. She loves attention. In fact, she probably would have made a very good service dog. The ones you take to hospital, which loves being petted, because she just absolutely loves being petted anywhere. You can touch her anywhere and she really don't mind. So like I say, she was, a good 18 months to settle down before she came out of her shell, and she's now a very relaxed, as you can see, and a very happy dog. She's had a couple of spats with Buddy, but I'll go more into that in a minute. But apart from that, she's a really good girl, and I love her. I love her to bits. So so she wasn't so bad. Right, so down to my last rescue pup now. So this is our 4th dog, Buddy. and any of you that watch my channel know that we've had him for about 7 months. And he has come from an abusive background. He had quite a few scars on him. We don't know if he was used for fighting or whether he was definitely chained up, because he's got quite a big scar around his neck. He had very little exercise because he walks a little funny. And he could probably poorly fed when he was younger, so his bones hadn't densed up enough. But he's brilliant now. He's on a good diet. He gets well looked after, plenty of exercise. He's built up his strength. We've dealt with his licking granuloma that he had. He no longer does that. He's not got sore feet anymore, and that was all relatively easy to deal with. He's had a couple of spats with Ruby. He's just really getting his position in the pack. So he's probably higher up in the pack than Ruby at the moment, because if he walks over to the toy box and she's putting her nose in it, she will walk away. So that's just showing respect for him and saying, yes, okay, you're in charge. But as far as him settling in, I've noticed the last couple of weeks he really is coming out of his shell. He's started, helping himself to toys. He wanders around the property here now. He doesn't wander off after the couple of incidents we've had. And they were all learning curves for us and him. He had to get a shock from the electric fence and realise what it was, so he knows to stay away from it. He's had to learn an awful lot. He's had to put up with an awful lot. He's had we're at least his 4th or 5th owners. He's 6 years old, so that's quite a lot of owners, and it's very, very unsettling for them. So the main thing you really need when you get a rescue dog is patience. Patience, understanding, and above all else, love. Because there's certain things that happen that we know Bud doesn't like. Like when we first got him, he was very, very weary of men. In particular, men that wore hoodies or baseball caps. So obviously somebody who looked like that has abused him. Of course, my sons wear baseball caps and hoodies. So what we did is we avoided them wearing those items of clothing around him in the beginning until he got used to them. Now he's got used to it and he knows they don't mean him any harm. He's fine. But it took time. All these processes and all the things you go through with a dog, it's slowly. You can't just expect him to just come in your home, settle down and get on with it. You have to do things very slowly with him. My son's now played tug toy with him and he's brilliant with that. He doesn't show any aggression at all. Considering his background, it's amazing. But I have noticed there are a couple of things that he doesn't like. He doesn't like you standing over him and rubbing him like like up and down like that on his sides. And he growled at me once for doing that. And I walked away. And then every now and then I'll go over and I'll do it. Now he doesn't growl at me anymore, but he'll get up and walk away. So now I avoid that situation with him, and I may just do it occasionally until he gets used to it and understands I mean him no harm. The other thing we notice is he was very, very jumpy. When you go to touch him and he's not expecting it, he would jump, because I think the touches he's had in the past have been abusive touches. So now when we go to touch him, he knows, we make sure that he knows, he can see that we go to touch him and he's fine with it. And as time goes on, he will completely trust us and he will be fine about that. We will be able to touch him without him jumping when he's fully relaxed in this environment and he understands, this is where he's going to live. But again, like I say, it could take months, it could take months, and you've just got to have the patience to work with them and to understand them. Another thing I just thought of that Bud does, when we go out for the day or when we go out and we come back, when he greets us, he sort of puts his head down low and he smiles, literally smiles at us. He lifts up his lips either side. It's not a growl because it's a submissive gesture, and he just smiles at us, and he slowly comes towards us. And obviously he's done that in the past to whoever's been mean to him, for want of a better word, and it's helped protect him, you know. So it's probably a protective thing that he started doing. Now to us it looks really nice, it's an endearment to us, it looks cute, but it's sad that he's had to do that and learn to do that in order to protect himself. You know, so when we come home anytime, we always make a huge fuss of him, and you know, understand that, you know, he's loved and he's wanted. So previous to that, people might have come home and kicked him or pushed him out the way or been horrible to him, and that's how he's learnt to do that. So anyway, that's really all I can think of right now. I hope this video isn't too long or too boring. So like I say, it takes time, it takes patience, and it takes love. And just work with your dogs, observe your dogs like you do your orchids, and just, you know, slowly, it's all very slowly. Okay, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like or dislike. I'll catch up with you later. Bye for now.